What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, July 2nd, 2026, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 16:58 Eastern Time here in the United States, and I wanted to update you guys with some of the latest breaking news that I have from around the world. But before I get into that, I want to talk about this insane heat wave that is gripping the United States. Look at these temperatures, guys. So these are the temperatures right now as of 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can see like the entire country is above 80 or 90 degrees. Okay, you really have to travel up into the high elevations of the Rocky Mountains and even up into northern Canada. Look at this, guys. The Northwest Territories, look at these temperatures up here. 75 degrees in Yellowknife, 80 degrees in Fort Smith. Look at these temperatures, guys. We're up above the Arctic Circle here, and we have temperatures above 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, does this mean that this is global warming? No, I don't believe that. I think that there are natural cycles, and ultimately God is in control. But look at this. I mean, the entire country just suffering under oppressive heat. And some of the major cities, New York, Washington, D.C., Boston, are just absolutely suffering right now. Look at Washington, D.C., 104 degrees. Winchester, Virginia, 104. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 104. Wilmington, Delaware, 104. New York City, 97. And actually, New York City's saving grace is actually the Atlantic Ocean, because they're pretty close to the ocean. So that kind of keeps their temperatures down. But look at like interior New Jersey, this concrete jungle over here. New Jersey can be super hot. 106 degrees in New Brunswick. Absolutely insane. Okay, so please stay indoors, stay cool. Just give it another 2 or 3 days and postpone all your physical activity that you have to do outside, your yard work, stuff like that. Just give it another 2-3 days, because this heat is deadly. Okay, it'll sneak up on you really quick, and before you know it, you have heat exhaustion. Okay, and I've been there before. It's happened to me before, and it's really scary. And the U.S. Department of Energy issued emergency orders under Section 202C of the Federal Power Act, valid through July 3rd. These orders grant power plants temporary relief from environmental permit restrictions to maximize generation and allow the use of backup generators as a last resort. And they're saying that the highest risk regions for power outages is the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. And grid operator PJM Interconnection, which serves 67 million people across 13 states and Washington, D.C., is bracing for a record power peak of over 166,000 megawatts. It has issued maximum generation alerts. And in the Midwest, the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, managing 15 states, warns its all-time demand record of 127 gigawatts could fall. Okay, so records being broken, emergency orders being issued by the Department of Energy to allow power plants to maximize generation, easing environmental restrictions. And I wanted to update you guys on the situation with Iran and also with Ukraine. So U.S. officials believe Israel may have been plotting to kill Iran's top negotiators, including Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and Parliament Speaker Mohammad Ghalibaf, during U.S.-Iran talks, prompting Washington to ask regional states to warn Iran. Wow. Okay, so we actually helped Iran avoid this assassination plot. Wow. The New York Times reports that the Parliament Speaker's plane, Ghalibaf, made an emergency landing in Mashhad after Iranian security forces warned of intelligence that Israel planned to attack it, claiming 2 Israeli fighter jets had entered Iranian airspace near the Iraqi border. So very, very interesting. And the fact that we were going to actually help and that we helped Iran avoid this assassination plot is crazy, in my opinion. And the Iranian deputy foreign minister said that the Strait of Hormuz is subject to Iranian command and not to the U.S. Central Command. Okay, so Iran tripling down on their stance that the Strait of Hormuz is under Iran's control. Okay, so how is there going to be any memorandum of understanding or peace deal if Iran believes that they're entitled to control the Strait of Hormuz? Also, Trump said that the Strait of Hormuz is international waters. Iran can't control it. So, where's this going to go? It's a dead end, okay? And Iran said that the memorandum of understanding has not been implemented. So Iran is still treating this as like a wartime scenario because they're demanding that Israel withdraw completely from Lebanon. And we know that's not going to happen. So from Iran's point of view, the memorandum has never been implemented from their point of view, okay? The Iranian deputy foreign minister said discussions in Qatar have ended this week. And the mayor of Kyiv in Ukraine reports that last night Russia conducted its largest attack on the city during the war, with at least 86 people injured and 13 killed, and attacks reported in all districts of the city. Wow. Okay, biggest attack of the entire war, guys. Wake up. Do I need to go and pour cold water on you guys? Okay, wake up. Snap out of it, okay? Things are happening around the world. And Russian media reported that Russia targeted military facilities and energy facilities in the capital of Ukraine in response to Ukrainian strikes. The Russian Defense Ministry said the major attack on Kyiv was carried out using high-precision air, land, and naval weapons. So they were attacking with Zircon hypersonic missiles, Iskander ballistic missiles, Caliber cruise missiles, and then drones on top of it. Okay, we're hearing as many as like 500 drones and over 70 missiles, okay? And we're also hearing that Ukraine launched a drone attack of their own last night. They hit the Kostovo oil refinery in the Nizhny Novgorod region of Russia. And Russia's defense ministry said they shot down 327 Ukrainian drones last night as well. So the war in Ukraine is escalating, okay? Putin is making big moves. He's preparing his military for another push into Ukraine. And everything I'm hearing is that Russia's going to try to go for the capital of Ukraine again, and that Russia is also going to test some kind of new weapon as well. And we're also hearing that Belarus may be getting involved soon in the war, and they may nibble off a chunk of Ukraine. So that's something we got to keep in mind, that Belarus is right next to Ukraine, and they can invade Ukraine as well and expand the war into different areas closer to the NATO border. And the leader of Belarus was just in China, and then he went to Russia and met with Putin right after. So why these two high-profile meetings? And we know that Belarus started mobilizing their military earlier this month, or earlier in June, okay? So something's going on in Belarus. Russia closed their entire border with Finland, Estonia, and Latvia. So that's major breaking news. Okay, that was earlier this week. And also Finland changed their laws to allow them to deploy nuclear weapons on their soil, and Russia didn't like that either. They said they're going to retaliate. So that means Russia is going to move forces to the border of Finland, I'm sure. I have no doubt about it. And multiple residential buildings were targeted by Russia last night in Kyiv. There's a lot of video footage that unfortunately I cannot share on YouTube, so all you're going to be able to look at is this weather map. But if you follow me on Twitter, I posted some footage over there. My Twitter handle is at NYPrepper1, and the handle and the link to my Twitter is in the description down below. The Finnish Defense Forces have established a temporary aviation restriction zone in the eastern Gulf of Finland, so this is close to Russia. The military stated the measure is intended to safeguard its airspace and ensure the security of national territory amid heightened regional activity. Okay, so this is close to St. Petersburg, Russia. Very interesting. And amid mounting fuel shortages caused by sustained Ukrainian strikes on its energy infrastructure, Russia is turning to imports with plans to bring in up to 400,000 tons of gasoline from abroad, including India, according to Reuters. So there's massive fuel shortages in Russia right now because of all these Ukrainian drone attacks on the refineries over the last few weeks. Okay, and Ukraine is going to increase those attacks. They just successfully used their new Flamingo missiles to hit a target very deep inside of Russia, hundreds of miles inside of Russia. The Flamingo missile is like bigger than the American Tomahawk missile, bigger warhead and longer range. So Ukraine is really stepping it up with their attacks on Russia. And the Polish defense minister said they will no longer be transferring MiG-29s to Ukraine, as previously announced by the Polish president, after Ukraine declined to share its drone technology in return. So there's a big argument now. I don't know how you'd say, like a fight between Poland and Ukraine over the last 2 weeks. The Polish president took back the Order of the White Eagle, which is one of Poland's highest medals given to non-military people, and they gave it to Zelensky, and they took it back from Zelensky because Ukraine founded a unit in their military that was named after this guy Bandera, who was a big murderer of Polish people in the Second World War. And so that's caused a lot of friction, okay? And European officials are reporting that Russia and China trained in chemical, biological, and nuclear warfare recently, involving 4 generals from both China and Russia. Very interesting. And the death toll from the earthquakes in Venezuela has been updated to 2,295 dead and 11,267 injured. And nearly 50,000 people are still unaccounted for. Wow. Okay, so that number is going to climb like crazy. And the U.S. only added 57,000 jobs in June. While the unemployment rate fell to 4.2%, this was mostly due to people leaving the workforce. Workforce participation is now at its lowest levels since March of 2021, which was during the height of the lockdowns during COVID. Okay, so the economy's not doing well, guys. People aren't making as much money, and people are not working as much. Businesses are slowing down. I see it around my area. I've seen it over the last year. A lot of businesses are cutting back their hours. And I notice it even on YouTube as well. Okay, less people are purchasing from my sponsors. So the economy's not doing good, guys. Okay. And the economy is like a ticking time bomb. It's just a matter of time before the next recession hits. And I have a bad feeling it's going to be catastrophic the next time we get into a recession. And an elderly Army veteran dies months after allegedly being sucker punched by a DoorDash driver he asked to slow down. 75-year-old Lloyd Poole from Wixom, Michigan, passed away on May 16th after suffering severe brain injuries. According to reports, in December, Poole stepped out of his driveway to ask a speeding DoorDash driver to slow down in the neighborhood. Police say 40-year-old Ryan Turner allegedly punched him in the head, causing him to fall, hit his head, and go into a coma. Poole underwent multiple brain surgeries, including having part of his skull removed, but never recovered. The suspect faces upgraded charges following Poole's death. Wow. So that is just totally aggravating to hear about that. That really makes me mad. I mean, the road rage these days is just out of control, guys. The road rage has just been getting worse and worse progressively over the years. I mean, people are just nuts. Okay, if you don't slam the throttle when the light turns green, you're going to have some angry soccer moms behind you. Okay, and finally, I just wanted to show you the warnings and watches across the country now for the heat wave. You can see all the areas shaded in pink are extreme heat warnings through tomorrow night. So please do yourself a favor, stay indoors, stay cool. Also, we have this major holiday on Saturday, 250th anniversary of the United States, 250th birthday of our country. And we need to be on very high alert. We need to pay attention to our surroundings. I'm not saying you should be paranoid. Enjoy your holiday celebrations. Enjoy your time with your family. It's going to be a scorcher, so it may be tough to do that. But, just be aware of your surroundings. You don't have to be like, constantly scanning all around and being like paranoid, but you should definitely be alert. Don't lower your guard too much because, when you're on a holiday, you tend to lower your guard naturally, right? But just keep a level of alert and carry self-defense tools if you can legally in your area where you plan to travel or where you plan to go. But that's it for now. I might be back later on tonight with a live update, and also I recommend you guys check out my Patreon. I post exclusive content over there and updates outside of just the video updates. I post text updates throughout the day and throughout the night so you can get ahead of the news. And I also post text summaries as well. If you don't want to watch the whole video, you can get a bulleted, abbreviated summary, and that's all on my Patreon. No advertisements, and you help support my channel and keep this channel running most of all. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 P's: prepare, practice, and persevere. And this update was sponsored by EMP Shield. Guys, EMP Shield has created a special discount just for you, the listeners of the NYPrepper channel. If you go to empshield.com and use the promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And why do you need an EMP Shield? Well, this is a special device to protect your vehicle, your RV, your solar generators, your radios from an electromagnetic pulse, which could be caused by a solar flare or potentially a rogue country like North Korea detonating an electromagnetic pulse weapon over the United States that's mounted onto a satellite. So protect your vehicles, protect your RV, protect your radios, protect your generators with an EMP Shield. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off. Installation is super simple. This is a veteran-owned business, 100% American-made, and the EMP Shields have been tested by the military, okay? And free shipping is included to the entire continental United States. And the link and the promo code are in the description below this video.